Hello Looming World, it's Amanda and Monica are Loomy, and today we're going to be showing you the Comrade bracelet. This bracelet was designed by a wonderful, dear, sweet friend on Instagram, and her name is Rainbow Loom Enthusiast. Some of you may already know her from there, but here is her page. Make sure you check her out and give her a follow. This is the bracelet that we're going to be showing you today how to make. Like I said, it's called the Comrade bracelet, and I'm just going to read what she's wrote about the actual name. And she just says, "Thanks to all who helped me give a name for this. I really appreciate it. But Artisan Loom was the one who chose this name, and it's called Comrade." She said she wanted to stick to the meaning of it, someone who shares one interest, a companion, or a friend. Nowadays, we can only tell and count who our really true friends are. So that's pretty much sums up about how our friends are in the looming world. We have so many followers and so many subscribers on YouTube, and we are very, very thankful for that. So we really feel honored to make this bracelet for her by the design name of Comrade. So this version, this has a catching fire theme. This color combination was inspired by Joe, our other great friend on Instagram, 5 Kids Cause Chaos. And I will actually show you here on Instagram her color scheme. As soon as I can find it. There it is. Catching Fire. And for this one, we use the Medieval Tin Man, the Orange Jelly, Egyptian Red, and she has pictured the limited gold bands, limited edition gold bands. And for that I actually chose, this is actually the Persian, it's called Persian Orange. But I think it still looks really good. It actually doesn't really look orange to me. If anything, it looks yellow. Anyway, oops, sorry. That is that color combination. This one is similar to the one that I already showed you in the picture from Instagram. The only thing that I changed differently was the inside color. So I stuck to the opaque black and the opaque white, and these are the jade green in the new dual layer collection. These bands work really good for that. I like the dual layered, but they're still kind of stretchy and a little bit thinner than the 100% silicone. This is our blinged version. This one I spent a lot of time on and worked really, really hard on. But this one's going to be going to the BFF, Miss Monica. So I'm really proud of this one. I love this one. I would love to keep it, but I love her dearly enough, so I'm going to give it to her. So for this one, I used the zebra for the outside perimeter, and I used the E-beads in there. And then I also used inside, I used opaque black, metallic silver, and then the jelly pink. Then on the sides, I used the silks in the pink, and then the sweets pink collection out of the 600 count. So that's just a little bit about those bracelets that I have there. Today, we are going to be doing another combination by Joe on 5 Kids Cause Chaos. The color combination that we're going to be using today is called Peacock. And we're going to be using the opaque blue, ocean blue, deep purple, and it is opaque, but it's still kind of jelly, so it's kind of in the middle between that. I don't remember what category it's listed on Rainbow Loom. And we'll be using the glitter gold. That's going to be our perimeter band. And then for the center cross bands that you see here, I'm going to be using the limited edition. It's a teal green. It's not the gold mint. This one has been around for a little bit longer, and I don't know if they even actually carry it anymore, but it's just like a teal green. So this is what we're going to be using for the inside. So I'm going to show you the setup on the pin bars. We'll be using actually an 8 pin bar setup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the center, 7, 6, 7, 8. I cannot count today. I'm so sorry. An 8 pin bar setup should look just like this. On the outside, you're going to have the staggered configuration, how the original rainbow loom comes. In the middle, you're going to have these 2 pin bars parallel to each other, side by side. And you can see mine are really loose in here. They're just really old. I've had them for a long time, and they've actually been glued back together. So, and then on the other outside, you're going to have the staggered configuration, just like this side, like the original rainbow loom came. All of our products that we're using today, as always, are rainbow loom. A rainbow loom hook, a metal tipped hook, rainbow loom, and then all of our bands are from the Rainbow Loom website, or we purchased them at Michael's. So get your supplies ready, come back, and we'll get started. So hopefully you have all of your supplies. You can use as many colors as you want for this. I just chose to do 4. 1 for the outside, 1 color for the middle, and then the 2 for the inside. So we're gonna start with laying our perimeter bands. I would highly suggest right here, this is where we're gonna actually be starting. In the instructions that I received from Rainbow Loom Enthusiast, she suggested, well, she just placed 1 band there. So that's personal preference. We like extra security, so we will actually be laying 2 bands right here, because this is going to be where you connect the bracelet with the C-clip. So you just need that extra strength right there. So I would highly recommend doing that. You don't have to, like I said, it's just a suggestion. So the next step for our perimeter, we're gonna lay. It's gonna go out just like that. We're gonna do the same to the other side. Then we're gonna come back from this pin, go back down, and back up. So you should have kind of like almost a W or a half of a W shape. Same to this side, and we'll be going up. So for our perimeter on the outside, we're not going to go just a single chain. We're actually going to be going back and forth in a zigzag pattern. All right, so go ahead and get started with that. I'll show you. Just like so. I do apologize for any background noise. I'm home today and trying to film during the day. We don't typically film during the day because, you know, obviously I've got kids and they make noise. And then Monica, she works all day and likes to film at night as well. So when she gets home from work. So not that I don't work, I work too. I work part-time, but just saying. Anyway, it's easier for us to not have to worry about any complication with noises in the background if we film at night. But the house is kind of quiet. It's just me and Adam right now, so I'm filming. So if you hear some cars clanking in the background, that's just him shaking his cars. You might hear the doggy too. So we are just going to continue this pattern all the way up the loom. And I would push these bands down. You can do one side at one time, or you can do them together. It doesn't really matter because this is just, like I said, your perimeter. So continue this and I'll show you how to finish it off at the top. Alrighty, so I have finished laying my perimeter bands all on the sides, and I'm just going to show you how to close it off up here. We're just going to go, your last band that you need to have laid is going to be facing in. So we're going to take the next band, go down, do the same to this side, and then we're going to go back up. And that's how we'll close that off at the top. just like that. All right, so now we are going to actually be laying these colors here. On this one, it's the Egyptian red and the orange jelly. And then I'm gonna be using for the inside colors, the purple and the blue. So whatever you do to one side, you need to do to the other side. And we're just gonna follow that pattern all the way up the loom, all right? All right, sorry about that. We're gonna take our first color and lay it, and we're gonna make a V to start with. Like I said, whatever you do on one side, make sure you do to the other. So we're gonna come here, lay those like that, and we're going to make a V. Then we're gonna take the same color, we're gonna go straight up the middle. Now this is just basically how to get it started. We're not gonna, the rest of the pattern's gonna be different, but it's still the same. Anyway, just follow my lead. All right, so after that, you should have them straight up the middle. We're gonna take the second color we'll be using, or if you want to use the same color, whatever you prefer, we're gonna go and we're gonna close this in. Gonna go from there to there, and there to there. So now we have a diamond shape, but with two different colors. So I'm going to take the same color, we're going to go out and out. Same on this side. We're going to go out and out. Then straight up the middle, just like we did for the first. All right, switching back to our purple. Closing that diamond off. Then we're gonna create a new one, or start a new one. And straight back up the middle. All right? Continue on this side. And we will go straight back up the middle. I'll show you one more time. We're gonna close this off with the second color. And then start a new one. Oops, that one's a little bit twisted. All right, continue yours all the way up to the remainder of the loom. When I come back, I'm going to show you how to lay the last bands right here. Okay? Alrighty, see you back in a sec. So this is what the top of your loom should look like. And I'm going to show you how to lay these bands here. So you just finish it with the last band coming straight up. And then we're just going to close it off at the top with our other color. Just like that. All right, so we're gonna go back down to the beginning and we're gonna lay our cross bands here. I just wanted to show you this. I was off camera laying my bands, and this is one of the ocean blues that was in there. So how funny is that? All right, so our cross bands in the center, we're going to start with this peg, your X's should be laid all the way to the very last, to the perimeter. You should be able to see that. Okay? So now comes the fun part. We're gonna turn that loom around. With a big loom like this, you have to be very careful that doesn't fall apart on you. All right, so what we're gonna do here, we're just gonna lay a cap band. Take one of your perimeter bands and double it. And lay it just like so. And the first part of the looping process is where we just actually finished off, is the crosses or the X's up the middle. So the only thing specifically that you need to know about these is that you want to make sure that you start with the underlying band. Now whether you did yours in reverse than what I have mine laid, just make sure that the first band that you're picking up is the underneath band. For me, it's going to be on the left hand side. So I'm going to go under, pull up that first band, and loop it back to itself. Going back in under the cap band, looping that one back to itself. Fairly simple. We're gonna go back in, make sure it's underlying that first underlying band. Like I said, for me it's the left side, and you're gonna stay with whichever side you started with first, all the way up the loom. All right, just like that. And cross those over. And do this all the way up. And just continue with all of the X's. I'll finish mine, you finish yours, and we'll see you back in just a second, all right? So this is the last step before we actually go in and we'll be looping our perimeter. Your X's should go all the way to the end, just like that. All right, so for this first step, we're gonna, first step of this part of the looping, we're gonna go in, grab that perimeter band, pull it over and loop it to itself. Other side, pull it over, loop it to itself. Now, we're gonna go in where we've just looped that perimeter band. Excuse me. Take that, loop it over to itself. We're gonna do the same thing to this side. Take it, loop it over to itself. Now if your pin bars are like mine, they may be kind of squished together, and that's okay, just work it in there. Then we're gonna grab this and loop it back to itself. And the same here, just like that. So what you're gonna have left is you're gonna have this band that's straight up and down. And that's what we're gonna loop next. Straight back to itself, straight back to itself. So now we have these looped. We're gonna go in under where we just looped that upon itself. Take that, go towards the middle. And basically we're just looping everything back to itself. Gonna go in here. And looping back to itself. So you've got everything in the middle now. Now we're gonna go in and loop out again. First top band, loop it to itself. second band, loop it to itself. Now you can do this in a pattern and do it one side and then do the other, but I would just highly recommend that you keep up with both sides, because if you don't, then you may end up missing a loop. Okay, so we have the same sequence on both sides. I'm gonna go back in, pull that band that's straight up and down, loop it to itself, and repeat. Now we're gonna go out and loop in. Just like so. It's pretty easy. You just basically have to remember where to start when you're looping out and when you're going in and looping. Look just like that. Now we're gonna go in the middle, grab that top band, gonna do the same thing over here. Pull all of those bands back. Maybe a little tight there for a second. And loop that over upon itself. We're gonna go straight up and down. All right, you should have that pattern down by now. It's fairly easy. I'll just show you one more time. Sorry. Adam and the dog. Starting to make noises now. I have to wrap it up pretty quickly before they fall apart on me. All right, so we'll go in. And if yours comes off the loom, it's fine. Just put it back, just like that. Don't like my bands twisted. Trying to get them to lay flat. So just remember, whatever you do to one side, go over and do to the other. And just do that all the way up the loom. All right, I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna finish mine, you finish yours, and we will meet back in just a jiffy. So you should have all of your inner bands looped. They're gonna look like this. And now all we have to do to finish off the bracelet is the perimeter. You can see I've already started on this side. I'm just gonna show you this pattern real briefly and let you guys finish. We're gonna go in this cap band there, pull that over, grab this one, pull that one over. It's just like if you were doing a single chain. And just follow the pattern. This is basic rainbow looming one-on-one, so you should pretty much have, if you're making this bracelet, you should pretty much have this down pat. So I'm going to pause our video, finish up, and when we come back, we'll take it off the loom. Alrighty then. All right, so I'm just gonna show you at the very top here, just how to close this off with your perimeter. All you have to do is follow the bands and take them and put them back upon themselves. But just so everybody knows, and my loom is starting to collapse on me, but it's all good because it's getting ready to come off. So, all right, now in the beginning of the tutorial, you'll remember that I did say 2 bands here. I would suggest that. So what we're gonna do, pull those bands off. And pull them together. And we're going to put a C-clip in there. Make sure it's secure on both sides. Now we're going to start off taking it off the loom. Just like any other design, I would highly recommend that you do not just start pulling it off of the loom. I'm already starting down here at the bottom. And just pretty much working that off like that. I'm going to take this off and we'll come back. So I have taken it off of the loom and here is the design. Looks great. Looks really, really good. So that is our tutorial for the Comrade bracelet. There are those three, and we will lay this one on top. Just a little suggestion, one thing that you may want to do, there's a lot of wider bracelets that are being made these days. One thing that Monica and I have talked about, when we wear our bracelets, we would like for them to, I know that in order for us to close them, they need to come to a point at the top, but we have talked a lot about doing this on our bracelets. Because when they close, they're always going to have that kind of point to them. So we have talked about just closing them off and using 3 C-clips. And like I said, this is just a suggestion. You don't have to do this. It's just something that we've kind of talked about ourselves, and actually how we like to wear our bracelets. Wow, this one, believe it or not, it's really heavy. So I guess I picked the wrong one to demo that one on. So there, instead of bringing it into the middle, you have all 3 of those where they're connected. Now, granted, this is really big for me, but just kind of gives it a different look when it's closed. So that's kind of like, I believe, what we're going to start doing. But anyway, I hope you like this design. I think it turned out really pretty. Really, really pretty. So as far as bracelets, that's one thing that we've mentioned we were going to start doing, is telling y'all what we're wearing on our arms. This one is the Swan bracelet. This one is Loom by Loom for Kaylee on Instagram. She also has a YouTube channel. So we love Joni very much, and I love Kaylee as well. She's just such a sweetheart. So this one actually lays really flat on your arm. This is one that we really enjoy wearing just because it's flat and the design is pretty, and it feels good. And this is, there's that one, the Love Lock bracelet. This one is actually, you can find this on our channel, done by Loomy Mama on Instagram. This one has become very popular and seems to be a favorite of everybody on Instagram as well, especially coming closer to Valentine's Day. So check that one out and let us see your renditions of all those. And then also, we'd love to see your rendition of Rainbow Loom Enthusiast, her bracelet, the Comrade. So as always, comment, like, and subscribe, especially if you enjoy our bracelets and our tutorials. And follow us on Instagram and Facebook, Rainbow Loom for a Cause. And continue on with happy looming.